Hello, welcome Solex Nation. You know what? It's January, and with January comes the really fun discussion of taxes.
Yes. Oh, well, everybody wants to have this. We don't really have to worry about them until April.
Right.
But in January, we start issuing, in particular with this crowd, 1099s. This is when you get the opportunity to find out how much money you made, right? And how much taxes you owe.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at that, a couple key pieces. Those 1099s are actually issued from PayQuicker. PayQuicker is responsible for the commissions that gets paid to you. So there's a couple things that are key here. One is federal law does not require a 1099 to be issued if you didn't make $600 or more. So if you fall into that camp of not making $600 or more, then you don't have to worry about this at all.
In 2024.
Yeah, in the entire year, right?
Yeah.
If you did, though, then PayQuicker, will issue those 1099s to you. Mm-hmm. You do have to have your PayQuicker account set up. A PayQuicker account is not a Solex account. A PayQuicker account is a separate entity. It is actually a banking institution that is responsible for managing the money that obviously Solex puts in that gets distributed to you as you earn commissions. And so because of that, it is separate and apart from Solex. We actually can't even manage or influence anything in those accounts. So make sure if you've earned that threshold of money that you've set up your account so you can access your 1099. Everybody loves talking about taxes, but that's enough, right?
Yes, and PayQuicker did tell us to tell you that your 1099 is available in your PayQuicker back office. So not your Solex back office.
Correct.
In your PayQuicker back office. Any issues with finding it, give PayQuicker a call, and they said they'd be glad to help. All right, we have something really, we always are announcing new things.
Yeah, this is a really fun thing with any business that's growing, and we're all in this business. Our collective warehouse is getting bigger, right? The warehouse that holds and distributes product, we are more than doubling in size. We have signed the lease. We are moving all of our equipment. We're in the process of doing that right now. As you might imagine, it feels like moving a house, but even more.
Yeah, it's
a
intense.
lot going on in that. We're excited about it because we're trying to build into a space that will really cover the global wishes that we have for growing, and not just here in the United States and Canada, but elsewhere, Australia, EU, and other places. We have enough resource and facility here in order to really take care of the next 5-10 years that are in front of us. So we're really excited about this move.
Yeah. Well, and the truth is, because of you, we grew out of our current space.
Yeah, we totally grew out of our space. We were bursting at the seams, and so we needed to make this move. We're excited to do this. As we make the transition, just so you're aware, as we set things back up and they test things, they want to make sure that they do it right. If it does impact your shipment by delaying it a day or 2 or 3, we're so sorry about that, but just know that this doesn't happen very often.
No.
We don't go through this sort of transition very often. In fact, we're planning on making this move for really the far near future.
It's true. We tried to make it as seamless as possible. There will be some delays that we can't avoid, but we have tried to make it so that those don't happen as frequently as they could.
Yes, yeah. And these moves are great, and they're just a great sign that the business is growing.
That's right.
One other thing that's growing, but that's coming to an end tonight.
Oh, double liftoff. You only have a few more hours to get your double liftoff.
Just a few more hours. The 15th at 11:59 p.m. It ends. Right? Mountain time. It ends.
Yes.
And so if you've been working it, considering that, make those last few phone calls. If somebody signs up with a bundle subscription and has a successful
in the
subscription,
next few hours, you get your double liftoff.
You get your double liftoff.
Okay, but what's happening tomorrow through the 31st?
Oh, okay. Well, tune in tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow morning, we're going to have emails going out. We're going to have a social media post. We'll have a banner in the back office announcing what is really exciting, and this is really fun too. Mm-hmm. Usually we've done this one, what's being announced tomorrow, a few times. You can make your guesses in the chat, go for it, but it's a fun one. Usually we get a lot of people engaged in this one.
All right, we want to talk to you about Virtual Day Discovery. First, actually, we need to talk about the dates of Virtual Day Discovery because we've been announcing the 6th through the 11th.
Yeah, and we had that online, but we also had it in our tickets. We had the 5th, and we had this fun plan.
Yeah.
We always have fun plans, right? And she's a surprise person.
I love to surprise people.
And so
we
she
were
was
going
like,
to say Surprise! It's open
On
on
the
the
5th.
5th. We were going to say 6th to 11th, but it kind of got out there already. So we are letting you know now the surprise.
Here's the surprise.
Here it is.
All right,
It's
the
actually
5th.
the 5th. It will open on the 5th, and we will close down those videos on the 11th.
Now, don't start asking us when on the 5th it will be announced. It will just be available on the 5th. If you've been here in the past, it is a lot of work. We task our videographers, our writers, our marketing team, and so many other people with so much work to get this put together. But it really is worth the wait every time. Even if it takes an extra hour to get it into your hands, it's going to be worth the time you spent there.
That's right. And just as a reminder, those tickets will increase in price on February 1st. So if you haven't gotten your virtual day discovery ticket, go get it. And hey, while you're at it, just buy the 2025 event pack and come to our live in September too. Now, what is not included in the event pack is our European Day of Discovery.
Yes.
But those tickets are also up for sale now. And those tickets are also on sale until January 31st. And then on February 1st, they will be increasing.
Increasing in price. Do we remember when that event is, the European event?
May 30th and 31st, and that's in Amsterdam. And you don't have to live in Europe to come. In fact, we have a few tickets already sold from people in the United States, so that's really fun to see.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
This is going to be, we got a lot of stuff in front of us, you guys.
We really do. Okay, one of the things that we decided to do last quarter, so quarter 4 of 2024, we did a special incentive in addition to our Get 3, Get 6 incentive that we normally have.
Yeah.
We said the top 3 people who brought on the most people would be going to Disney World. Now, what's the caveat?
The caveat is you have to earn the incentive trip, right? So if you earn the incentive trip and you're one of these 3 people, we're going to bring you in a day early into Orlando. We're going to go to Disney World for a day, and then the next day we get on the boat and we go have a great cruise.
So there are 3 people who are at the very top who had the most people brought on in that quarter. And if these 3 people earn the trip, they are coming to Disney World with us.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a good addition.
Let's
So who are
announce
the
them.
3?
All right. The first one, surprise, surprise, Paige Wheeler
And Joyce Oglesby.
and Terry Beaver. Congratulations. All 3 of you are Disney World winners. So proud of you. Okay. We had a contest last week. Last week we launched a new product, AO Energy.
Yes, yeah, and those are shipping out, like I think today they started shipping out.
Yes. So we're excited about that. But we asked you last week to tell us, what are you giving energy to in 2025?
Oh, that's a good one. And what are you giving energy to? Because of AO Energy, we made that connection, and we're going to give away
AO Energy. Now, you have to say hopefully
which one.
they said what flavor they want.
Yeah, if not, I'm picking for them. All right, this is D. Marie Hurley. D. Hurley, great job. Okay, I am putting more energy into getting my health back to 100. I'm calling it the year of taking things back, taking back better health and finances. Can't wait to try both of these flavors. Thank you, Solex, for always raising the bar. Okay, so she didn't mention a flavor. So for her,
What do you want to give her?
I want to give her the berry watermelon.
Oh, I love that one. I love both of them,
Yeah,
but
they're
I'm
great.
partial to watermelon.
Yeah.
Good job, D. You are getting AO Energy. All right, next person is Jamie Given. I am putting energy into getting healthy and building my Solex business. I want to share this wonderful tool and help as many people as possible. Peach mango sounds great. All right, you're
Good
getting
job,
peach mango.
We got one of each. All right, last winner. Here it is. Mindy Getz. All right, I am circulating energy this year by leveraging the way I work and receiving more time to share with my daughter. Totally game for either flavor. Well, I should choose the other flavor.
Yeah.
The peach mango. Right?
And I love Mindy Getz. I love her daughter. She is a Solex fan. So I love that you mentioned your daughter, and hey, let her try your AO Energy. It's awesome. So congratulations, all 3 of you. We will get those sent out to you. And let's talk about our top enrollers.
All right, so this is the week of January 6th to 12th.
Yes,
right?
6th to 12th, and we have no ties. Now, our person in second place signed up December 26th.
So just brand new.
Brand new, and is our
Not even a month
is
here.
in second place.
Second place, All right, I'm going to do my best to say your name, but if I say it wrong, please correct me and help me get it right. Miki Nakao, I think is how she says it. But
yes, congratulations. And in first place for the 60th week in a row, we have Paige Wheeler.
Great job, Paige.
Yes.
She's getting the AO Scan passes.
Yes, 6-pack of AO Scan passes goes to you. All right, well, we have a wonderful guest speaker on today. We want to introduce you to the wonderful Darryl Roberts.
Solex Nation, how are you all doing tonight? My name is Darryl. I'm a traditional naturopathic doctor. And up until very recently, one of the main things that I did was to help people to get over illnesses and to get over emotional imbalances. But one of the things that I've decided that I wanted to do recently is to help demystify the concept of frequency, to help demystify the concept of energy. And for now, that's my life's mission. So when I decided that I was going to give this talk, or when I was asked to give this talk, it's not like I just made the decision. One of the things that I decided that I wanted to talk on was quantum entanglement or quantum physics. And I pride myself as a Meridian therapist. And so quantum physics and the Meridian system, I want to show how these things are intertwined with one another. And I want to just demystify that whole concept, energy. Because we use energy all the time. And my goal for this talk is not to make anybody here a quantum physicist. And my goal is not for the end of this talk for anybody to say, oh, I understand it now. I can tell you that quantum physicists don't really understand quantum physics. They accept that it's real, and they have faith that it's real, but they're past the belief phase, and they're into faith. It's not so much that they understand it. Energy is mystifying to begin with. So let's just start with energy that many of us already know about or think about. How many of you in this room have had situations where you thought about somebody and then you got a call from them a few minutes later? Happens to all of us. How did that happen? How did that happen? Because you're dealing with energy. And one of the main things I want you to take away from this talk is that when you're dealing with energy, distance doesn't matter. So they could have been in the next room, or they could have been across the globe. This happens to all of us. Energy, frequency. It's not so mystical, we just don't think about it. We just don't study it. Let me talk to you about some things energetically that you have faith in. Because I would imagine that most of the people who are in this room have subscriptions to the AO scanner. So you believe that this technology works. You believe that quantum entanglement is a real thing. You believe probably in quantum physics, but many of you haven't gone from the belief stage to the faith stage in this. But here's something you have faith in that you can't see: gravity. All of you. If you have common sense, you have faith in gravity. Faith meaning you understand it, you understand that it exists, but you don't understand how it works. It's invisible, you can't see it, and I don't think that any of you would walk up to the top of the building and just step off because you have faith in what you can't see. You have faith in the energy field of gravity, so you know what to do and you know what not to do. Most of you all have faith in oxygen. It's invisible. You can't see it. You can't smell it. But when you take a breath, you expect it to be there. You have gone from the belief into faith, and you don't even think about it. But when we start talking about energy, and when we start talking about quantum physics, and we start talking about quantum entanglement, from my vantage point, that's a knowledge that we deserve, but it has been taken from us. From my vantage point, that is a knowledge that we need to reclaim. So let's talk about energy. There's a ball of fire there. It's the sun. That's a source of energy that most of us understand as energy. It's 93 million miles out, but yet it projects frequency and energy through space. And when it hits the Earth, it causes a rotation. So the Earth moves at 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. It revolves. Energy is what causes that to happen. It's not sending heat because space is cold. If anybody were to spend any time in space, I think they said 3 or 4 minutes, and you would turn into an icicle because space is cold. That big ball of sun isn't sending heat through the darkness of space. It's sending energy through the darkness of space. And when it gets 93 million miles out, which is where we are right now, and hits our planet, it causes all sorts of things to happen. It causes seasons, it causes weather, it causes balances in the earth, and there's a communication that happens when the sun's energy hits the earth, even though it's 93 million miles out. Why? Because when you are working with energy, distance doesn't matter. So this is considered an aura. That's the Earth's aura, or what I call the Earth's biofield. It's a biofield of energy that's around the Earth that communicates with the energy of the sun when it gets there. This is from National Geographic's. I found it. It says, and I'm going to look down because I'm reading. I didn't memorize this. When eons of the solar wind collide with atoms of oxygen and nitrogen from the Earth's atmosphere, the energy released during these collisions causes a colorful, glowing halo around the poles, or an aura. So if you are able to be in the right place at the right time, you can see that. But that's not anything that's happening on its own. That is a reaction to what you can't see. You can't see solar wind. You can't see the atoms of oxygen and nitrogen around the Earth's atmosphere. But the communication is happening. The energy is being sent. The frequency is being sent. And because the frequency is being sent, you are finally able to look at something that you couldn't see prior to the communication of these two bodies, that one is 93 million miles out and the other is sitting right here where we are. But the energy is sent, the communication happens, and magic takes place because it's energy, and distance does not matter. Now, I'm going to tie this in with all of us in just a second, but that particular energy hitting the planet causes our planet to work and do things that we don't even understand. There are meridians inside of the planet, and they need to work. Flows of energy inside of the planet, they need to work. We need to have all of our seasons. We need to have so many things that without the energy happening, it would not be manifested. But now look at all of the planets. The thing that's happening to us is happening on all 9 planets. It's regulating their energy field. It's causing their planet to rotate. It's causing their planet to move. And it moves harmoniously through the solar system. You don't see planets colliding with one another. You don't see planets getting into each other's orbit. You don't see chaos in the solar system, because the one sun that provides power to all of them regulates everything from them. And you have Mercury, which is right next to the sun. And I believe Pluto is a planet, so Pluto made the list. Pluto is 4,600,000,000 miles out from the sun. But Mercury doesn't get more energy from the sun, and Pluto doesn't get less energy from the sun. Mercury doesn't get extra care, and Pluto doesn't get neglected energetically, even though it's 4,600,000,000 miles out. Why? Because when you're dealing with energy, exactly. So this is the Earth's biofield. Or excuse me, this is our biofield. Thank you. It's very similar to the earth. All of the things that I spoke about that happens to the planet, it all happens to us. We all have energy that's flowing around us. We have an atmosphere. The planet's atmosphere is its protection. If a foreign body comes from outer space and it tries to get into the Earth's atmosphere, it's burnt up on impact. It's how the planet doesn't get knocked out of its orbit. It's a protective field. And we all have that protective field around us. We all have it sitting here, and it's communicating at all times. It's the reason why people are entangled with one another, and you can think about somebody and that they call. But it's happening all the time. Each one of you are communicating with the person sitting next to you. Each one of you energetically are communicating with the person in front of you or behind you. You're communicating with my biofield, deciding whether or not you're going to accept what I say or reject it. And that biofield is your protection. That biofield allows you to do what you want to do and let in whatever energy you want to let in, and reject whatever energy you want to reject. So if you have energy that's flowing around you and you are not congruent with it, when you are in your power, you have the ability to control and reject it. How many of you have walked into a room and met somebody that immediately you know energetically was not congruent with you? All the time. And you stop that interaction if you're wise. You don't let that energy into your field, because energetically, the strongest energy in the room wins. Whoever has the strongest energy in a relationship will dominate it. But when we learn to control our energy, manipulate our energy, and put our energy in a scope that we allow ourselves to control and not others, then each one of us become a self-sustaining mechanism, very much like our planets. Each one of us has this ability. When you all walked into this room today, it's filled with people who are of like minds. This room, energetically, is a little chilly, right? Up here it's cool. I think that might be why, so that the speaker is comfortable. Is it? Well, no, it works for the heat up here. But the room is cold. But energetically, when you walked in this room, everybody's feeding on everyone's energy, and the energy is high in here. Ever walked into a funeral? The energy is way down there, because the strength of the room will dominate your frequency unless you learn to master and control it. And my goal is to teach people the science of mastering their own energy so that we can all control our own biofield and allow our biofield to regulate itself and have no bearing on what yours is doing or what this person is doing or what that person is doing, because one energy doesn't have to ruin another. So I call myself a Meridian therapist. It's because I've learned to work and control the acupuncture channels or the Meridian channels. Most of you are familiar with this scan. These are the meridians that show up on your scan. You have 12 main meridians, and they flow through your body from head to toe. All of the 12, all of them except for one. Well, you have 12 main meridians, and you have the governing vessel and conception vessel. I'm not trying to get into all that. But most of the meridians, or all of the meridians except one, are named after a specific organ. And some people think, oh, the lung meridian, it tells you about the lung. It does. The bladder meridian, it tells you about the bladder. Well, it kind of does, but it goes throughout the body from head to toe, and it goes internally inside of the body, and it energizes the organ that it flows through. So the lung meridian, if you look at the channel of it, it flows right through the lung. It predominantly flows right through the lung. There are some other meridians that might be close to it, but the lung meridian flows right through the lung, so it's called the lung meridian or the lung channel. It's not even called that in every language. The bladder meridian, the gallbladder meridian. People have gallbladders that are gone, and they say, well, you know, when I do these scans, they say, well, I don't have a gallbladder. You still have a gallbladder meridian. There's still an energetic system inside of the body. And these meridians work together. They give energy from one to the other. It's an energetic flow, and it's designed to work perfectly. It's designed to regulate every aspect of the body. From the standpoint of traditional Chinese medicine, all disease is a deficit of energy in the acupuncture channels. That's the concept of that. If there is disease in the body, if there's illness, if there's sickness, if there is emotional imbalances, then there is some place in the body where energy is stuck. And if we can find where that is, from the standpoint of traditional Chinese medicine, if we can find where that is, we can eliminate the body's need to have disease or illness. Because the concept is, if you have free-flowing energy through the body will always be able to fix itself. If you have free-flowing energy through the body will always be able to regulate itself. And when the body is unable to regulate itself, then sickness, illness, disease comes in. So we have our scan, we've got our AO scanner. AO scanner is amazing, right? And we get energetic signals from the AO scan that this meridian might have some issues, and that meridian might have some issues. So when you have these double reds, right, I would write that down if I were you. Tuesday, bladder meridian, it was double red. Out of 2 attempts to bring it back to normal, energetically, we couldn't make that happen. So right now, the bladder meridian is out of balance. But if the next day the bladder meridian is back in balance, you're dealing with a frequency that was off now, but the frequency manifested a change before it turned physical. When we're dealing with frequency, we're dealing with energy that is not necessarily manifesting itself in the physical, and if you can fix it energetically, it doesn't have to manifest into the physical. So this is one of the things. I have a little mentorship that I have, and a lot of the people who are in the mentorship are AO Scan subscribers, and we talk about frequency a lot. And I'm always trying to get people to understand that you can't look at these scans, whether they are meridian scans or really any of the scans, and take one instance as a sign of anything unless it's already manifested physically. But the goal is to make sure that we fix it energetically before it gets to the physical. So, meridian balancing. How do we balance the meridians? There are a bunch of ways that you can balance the meridians. There are a bunch of ways that you can move energy through the acupuncture channels. If you're a licensed acupuncturist, you can put little needles in the acupuncture channel. There are holes in your body that go all the way through. You can drop a needle inside of there. When you drop a needle in the acupuncture channel, the needle isn't really doing the job. There's nothing special about the needle. The needle doesn't have properties in it that fix anything. The needle goes in, and there's energy in the air. All around us, there's energy. And the needle is pulling from the invisible energy that's in the air, the electricity that's in the air, and it's redirecting it into the acupuncture channel. So from an acupuncturist standpoint, it's brilliant. Drop needles in people, lay them on the table for about 20 minutes, I leave the room. And I just let nature take its place, because these needles, whether they be gold or silver, tonifying or raising the frequency, I'll let the needles grab the electricity from the air. Now, most of us are not licensed acupuncturists, but there are still other ways that we can do it. How does the sun bring all of this energy to the earth? It brings it via energy, via light. Light is one of the most amazing ways to transfer energy. That's why the sun is a ball of light. We also can use electricity. In my practice, I do a lot with what's called auriculotherapy. So there are, just like there are points all over your body, there are points all over your ear. I taught a class recently on auriculotherapy, and in that class we talked about specific points that you can stimulate or press on the ear that corresponds with all of the body parts and also all of the meridian or acupuncture points. There's also pressure that you can use, something called acupressure. None of these ways are better than the other. What you're doing is you're stimulating the acupuncture channel. Let's go to light for a second. How many of you have an illuminator? Red light therapy. Turn this sucker on. Lights up. Most of you probably use this on areas of the body that are sore, areas of the body that are in pain. You might want to improve. So you're using red light therapy in that way. You could actually place this on an acupressure point. Now, I happen to know, I have an inside window into Solex University. And I happen to know that there's a couple of courses coming where you'll be taught all of the source points of the meridian channels, so you'll know where on the hands and feet specifically to stimulate to balance out each individual meridian. That's coming. Some of you have some charts where you can find specific points. Now, when you're dealing with the illuminator, you put this over a point, you're going to be over a bunch of different points at one time. So it's not going to be as effective as you might like. And if you try to put it up to the ear, well, you're probably on 100 points each time or each spot that you put it, because the ear points are very, very little. I also happen to be in the know of another product that's coming out. It's a little thing right here. It's a little cone. If you put this on the illuminator, it makes the light smaller so that you can now put it directly up to an acupressure point, right up to a meridian point, and deliver a dose of energy directly into the meridian channel. There's also a second little cone. This cone makes a smaller dot. This cone allows the red light or the energy to be more focused. And with this one, you can take it around the ear. And you can hit specific ear spots, specific points in the ear that will help you balance out the meridians. That's coming. And in that course, you'll also be taught how and where the points are in the ear. So right now, when you find things that are on your scan that you need to balance, you have a general idea of what the channel is, because it will show you a flow of the channel. And one of the things that you can do is you can take your red light therapy device that you have now, or you can take your terahertz wand and channel or travel the channel in its entirety in order to help move energy through that channel. Or you could do your scan. Now, earlier, I was specifically talking about your biofield, and I was talking about communicating with your biofield. And I'm sure that at the very beginning of this talk, you're wondering, what in the hell does the sun and the earth have to do with any of this? Well, the earth gets information from the sun instantly. And our scanner, from my vantage point, communicates directly with our biofield. And it's this biofield that is around us that is specific to each one of us that this scanner communicates with. I know a lot of people say, well, you know, if I call your phone number, nobody else's phone is going to ring. That's true most of the time. There could be some slip-ups because the phones are man-made. They're using waves that are not man-made. The energy that the phone waves travel on is not man-made. They're manipulating them and doing some odd things to them. But it is possible that one person could not pay their phone bill and their phone number gets put back out into the atmosphere. Somebody else gets it and you call and somebody else answers the phone. That is a technical possibility while it's not a probability, but your biofield, nobody else has that. Nobody else has had that. Nobody else will have that. And when your biofield is energized, it provides energy internally to the body, specifically to your acupuncture channels, specifically to your meridians, specifically to your organs, and it does it instantly. It doesn't matter whether you or the person that you're scanning or sending frequencies to is in the next room, in the next state. It really doesn't even matter if they're on this planet. But I'm not going to say that because that sounds a little bit wacky. It doesn't matter where they are because their biofield is able to receive that, because when you work with energy, it has no relevance at all. So the goal is to get a good scan. I couldn't find an all-green scan. Now, I've seen a couple of all-green scans, but when I was preparing for this, I couldn't find one. And Solex, to their credit, wouldn't make one. I asked for it. They wouldn't do it. The goal is to get your system of energy flowing so that your meridian systems are not constantly showing you all nines. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to make a challenge. I'm challenging myself, and I'm challenging a little group that I work with, that next month, I am going to scan and optimize myself every single day. If you don't do anything else but send communication to your biofield every single day, you're speaking to the essence in which you were created, and you're balancing out your own energy field and allowing the balanced energy field to see what the body does. When I balance people from a meridian standpoint, when I balance their meridians at every visit, when I'm seeing people in person, I balance their meridians. I'm just now watching to see what the body does. So I'm going to scan myself, and I'm going to take notes every day. I'm going to write out how I'm feeling. I'm going to write out how crappy I'm feeling. I'm going to write out what my mood is, and I'm going to see whether or not that changes over the next month. Because the goal is to take back your power, to take back your energy. It's been stolen from us. It's been taken from us. The scripture says, "My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge." And ignorance is one of the most prevailing problems that we're facing, our clients are facing, our family is facing, that prevents our own rise into good health. And from my vantage point, that ignorance is fed on by corrupt corporations, establishment, and leadership. So I'm challenging myself, and I welcome you all to join me in this, to take back your power. You've given it up. We've given it up without even knowing what we've given up. We didn't even know we had it. We didn't understand that quantum physics is the nature in which all of this works. It's the nature that we can't explain. It's the nature that we don't understand, but we've been made afraid to even delve in it. So our physical health has gone down. Take it back. Our emotional health has gone to hell. Take it back. Our confidence has been shot. Take it back. Our families, our businesses, our lives, our energy is way down here. Take it back. Take it back. So, as I said when I started, my goal isn't to say, oh, now I get it. Now I understand quantum physics. I don't even expect people to be able to answer the question with other people better than they could answer it before. My goal was to take you from the belief in your scanner to the faith in your scanner, and this is an outline to do it. Many of us have achieved amazing things on belief. We've achieved outrageous things just over the concept that we believe that this works. But I promise you, all of those things that you did on belief will look like nothing when faith really is released. When you're dealing with energy, when you're working with energy, distance doesn't matter. But what matters is the depth of your faith in yourself and your depth of your faith in the energy that you're working with. Thank you.
Everyone loves Darryl.
Yes, Darryl. You know what? I love Darryl's. He just has a calm, collected way of delivering information.
Oh, yeah.
He just does that so well. And I love how, I mean, he's obviously well-versed and well-studied and delivers it in such a way where we can receive it and learn and grow.
Yeah, I always learn something from Darryl.
But that leads us to, we're at the end of the call. What do we want? I mean, we have a contest
Yes,
at
we
the end of
do.
every call, and you just learned from Darryl.
So what did you learn?
What did you learn?
Yeah.
Comment on the call, not on the live chat, but after the call ends, recorded here, say what you learned and maybe why it was impactful for you. That might be helpful too as we share in this community. And what are we going to give away?
We're going to give away our Solex shot glasses.
You know, those were a big hit.
They still
Dave
are.
Discovery, and
They're
they
still selling like
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
But what are they?
Okay, so you can use these because of the material, right? The shot glass. It's a great carrying or transmitting material where you can actually imprint. So you can actually put your shot glass on your scanner and you can put whatever you want to imprint inside the shot glass, get the imprinting done, and then it's a nice barrier for then you to, whether you're consuming something, like if you want to imprint, let's say Prime with, you know, some sort of health benefit.
Yeah.
You could put your 2 capsules of Prime in there, do the imprinting, and then take that as part of it.
Yes.
You're getting the frequency benefit transmitted there.
We want to make it clear we are not encouraging drinking alcohol. That's not
No,
what they're
that's
for.
not what we're- yeah.
So we just wanted to show you what those are for. But we will draw 3 winners next week. Hope you all have a great week.